Okay. Ah, this one popped up. I thought I'd write it down. This isn't going to be much of a rant, as it usually is, I guess. Uh, there's a lot of information about this universal law of attraction, and a lot of people don't seem to be getting much results. And it's because there's so many languages out there, and I'm not talking about the difference between the form of the language, but I basically mean interpretations, explanations, and experiences in how those had uh, presented themselves. Perspectives, I guess, would be another good word. But if you're wondering, looking for another way to look at it, then here's sort of my understanding of it. Number one, the thoughts that we have are nothing more than forms. They're sort of just like words. They're containers for a message or, content basically. It's a box. When I say box, you automatically get a shape in your mind and a picture and everything. So your thoughts in this, how it pertains to the universal law of attraction, is just the picture. It's just the form. It's just the type. And what we're looking for in attracting something in our lives is the actual content. And people often, especially when I've seen complaints, I guess, about the not getting what they want, is that they're looking at the form. They're looking at, this doesn't look like the way I imagined it, so it must not be it. And that's tricky, because you ask for $1 million, and then you get $1 million worth of something in your life that you may not recognize because you're looking for money. So, in order to start seeing real results immediately, at least how it's worked for me, is you have to take the thought and connect on an emotional or feeling level, which is like they say, ask and then generate that emotion, that state, and then let go. This is a basic chunk down of how to do that. When I say I want $1 million, I'm not saying that I want $1 million. That's the ego or the form or the brain or the mind putting conditions on how that experience would present itself. So you have to ask yourself, what it is that you really want. And people keep naming more things that they would buy with the money. What do those things represent? What does that experience represent? So, if you got $1 million, how would you feel, and what would that mean to you? That's the trick. So, if I got $1 million, I would immediately feel more free. I would feel like I have options, even more so. I would feel a bit powerful, actually, and I would feel a bit more influential, maybe. And I guess that goes with power and influence. And I would feel right. I'd be like, I told you, this stuff works, And so what I really want, if I were to want $1 million, would be power, freedom, options, influence, and self-righteousness, I guess, feeling right. So those are the feelings and the emotions that you want to hold, your vibratory state, law of vibration, and in order to attract. And the letting go part is to forget about the form that it will present itself in. You don't have to let go, because people say, I don't know how to let go. Like, I can ask and I can feel it, but I can't let go. It's because the way you've asked, you're attached to the form. If you skip over the form into what the meaning of it is, and then you practice those emotions and those experiences that are identical to the meaning of the form, you have already let go. You can skip the hard part in that sense. So if you want the perfect relationship, what does that mean to you? How would you feel if you were in a perfect relationship? I would feel connected. I would feel loved. I would feel appreciated. I would feel like someone gets me. So what that basically is saying is that what you want is an inner connection, because you can only your vibratory state has to match what it is that you're attracting. So you actually have to be the meaning of what it is you wish to bring into your life. So, if you want the perfect relationship, that's the form. The meaning or the emotion or the feeling or sometimes even the sensation, because you can use all of your senses to accelerate this process, is, okay, perfect relationship, it would feel like these things. What does that mean to me? And then go seek out experiences that generate those same feelings. If you want to win $1 million to be free, exercise your freedom or go find places that allow you to. You can either go to where that vibratory match is, or you can become it. That works either way. You can sit and meditate on freedom, or you can also go and have experiences that generate feelings of freedom or emotions of freedom. And the same with relationships. If you want someone to get you, then take more time understanding yourself. Or keep looking if you want. It's probably a bit exhausting to talk to as many people as possible to find out who gets you. Because in most cases, people will get as far as they can think about you, in most cases. So, if you want, I don't know, pick anything, like a car, for example, a new car. What does that mean to you? A new car is a symbol of status, usually. So that's what you're seeking, partly, some status. It gives you a sense of control, a nice new fine car. It usually steers nice, it's a smooth ride. So you want, the emotions behind something like that could be that you want control over a new experience that happens to go through your life smoothly. And that is what gets you from point A to point B. So you're looking for a transitory or transitional experience that doesn't require so much frustration. So go find one, or find it in you, one or the other. And that is the whole explanation, from how I've come to understand it, of the law of attraction and also the law of vibration. There's nothing outside of us that we cannot find or attract if we find it in ourselves first. And this is what they mean by, use your emotional guidance system. I think it was Abraham Hicks that used that phrase. Your emotional guidance system, putting it that way, might be difficult for people to understand what that actually means. And if you're not in touch with your emotional state, which is your vibrational state, then you have no guidance system. You're getting signals everywhere and you don't know what they mean. So you don't know how to act, because that's another step of the law of attraction, to ask and generate the feelings, imagine, let go, and then act. If you don't know what it is you're attempting to attract and you're hooked on the form, you can't let go, and then you don't know what to act upon. So if you are dreaming of, someone's going to laugh because we had this conversation, if you're dreaming of sitting on a beach and seeing blue water and a clear sky, how do you interpret that dream? That dream is an expression of an unmet need. So what does that dream actually mean? Throw away the form. What does the water mean to you? Not to go Google what the color blue looks like. You might agree with that, but that's looking at the form. What does blue mean to you? How does it make you feel? When I sit on the beach, I feel relaxed. I feel focused. I feel privacy, even. I feel peace. That was the key word of yesterday's conversation. And, I feel independent. So you can sit and meditate and feel inside yourself exactly those emotions. Sit and search for your inner peace. Search for your inner independence. Sit and search within yourself. Find your focus and get familiar with what that feels like when you feel that. And that's how you'll know what to act upon. Because you'll feel a match. You'll go, wow, this feels familiar. This is a new situation and it feels familiar. It feels like I'm sitting on a beach with nice waters in the sun. Oh, wow, I am in the right place at the right time. The way my dream presented itself to me And the feelings that I got from that, from knowing the meaning and being familiar how that affects my body, I'm now getting that same feedback. That is an experience that is in line with a need that was expressing itself through my dream. That's where I should go. And you'll be drawn to it because it's the law of attraction. So you'll feel yourself like, whoa, I can't believe I'm doing this. And it's so strange and new, but it still feels familiar. And why? Why am I doing that? Well, that's the law of attraction. Something you had asked for is pulling you in that direction. And if you don't go to it, you're not going to miss the opportunity. The attraction, if you keep holding that vibratory state, will get so big that eventually, if you do not at least attempt to meet it halfway, it'll come halfway to you until the pull becomes so strong you meet it in the middle. This is what they mean by destiny. Destiny will go all the way up to you if you're not going anywhere, and it'll pull you to it. And you'll go, it's just my calling. What is your calling? It's what you're attracted to. What are you attracted to? The vibratory states. Where are the vibratory states and emotions coming from? They're coming from the thoughts. What's the form and the thought? A need, a want, a desire, all those things. If that whole thing is not in line with your authentic self and your true core values, which is what you have to know one way or another, then the whole system becomes vagued over and you won't even know that it's happening. Why does this keep happening to me? Well, most cases it's to keep you in line with your highest values. It's to keep you in balance, because it's the universe's natural state to equilibrate things that appear to be out of balance. And so if you go too far one way, you'll get brought the other way, like we were talking about, infatuation and resentment. If you go too high, you'll be pulled down. And so that pushing mechanism, acceptance and rejectance, is that a word? is things coming into balance to keep you in line with your values so that you can manifest through becoming familiar with the emotions into your life what your true calling or destiny is. It's a result. If you try to work from the bottom up, you're only going to get so far, and in most cases it'll work out anyway, but maybe it'll just take more time. But if you go from your values, your highest self down, then it's like that. It's happening right now. For me, law of attraction is in full effect. I see it for what it is now, and now I'm in a full state of gratitude. I used to fight this process because I didn't know what my values were, and I thought everything I was getting in my life was something that I didn't want. So I would have, years ago, said law of attraction is bullshit. I keep asking for these things, and all I have is this. But if I look at what this is outside of the form of how it's presented itself, and find what it means to me, I have everything I've ever asked for. I have all of my meanings and purposes fulfilled. And having that actually, because this was working sort of from the bottom up, showed me my values. Once I realized my values and realized that all things, like compounding the belief that all things that have remained in my life as true, because they've never left, so they must be true so far, showed me exactly how this law of attraction could be explained in a different way. So I have paintings hung up, and I might say, I want to know what my values are. What am I valuing? Why is this stuff here? And it's representing a value on creativity. So when I meditate, I'm not going to ask for more paints or more brushes or more paper, because that's the form. If I want more of that value in my life, then I would ask, what are more ways that I may express my creativity? And then what will happen is situations and opportunities that match how I feel about creativity in a creative situation will present themselves. I'll recognize it because it's a high value and I know what that feels like, and I'll do it. And I'll get more and more opportunities, become more and more creative, and it'll become a state of flow. And you do this with all of your highest core values. The lower values will take time. It'll take effort. And you'll be met with a lot of resistance. They say that in the law of attraction. You're resisting what's coming. You're resisting. The reason why it feels like resistance is because it is not a high value for you. So you have to work. You have to actually try. And they say, if you're trying, you're not letting go. So the whole system collapses if you're not working from your highest self, which that's where it will come the quickest and the easiest and the most effective. And that's where you'll also get the most joy and gratitude from. You cannot be grateful for something that you asked for if you didn't know you asked for and you got it, and you can't see how that is valuable to you. You'd say, why am I getting this in my life? I don't care about this. You're looking at the form. But if you say, I got this in my life because it's fulfilling this high value that I asked for that I don't even remember because I let go, then you can be grateful for it. And the more things you are grateful for in your life, the more things you actually attract. You become magnetic. He's a very attractive person. Yeah, he's in a state of gratitude. Wow, I must not be that attractive. The fucking lights just went out. You don't get to see my non-attractive face now. Fuck that. Give me my light. So that's basically my rundown to the law of attraction. Did all that just happen? Thank you. And so I've wanted a good laugh today. So yeah, so that's it. Find out what it is, what the form means. If you're asking for a new shirt, what does that feel like? Is it comfort? Is it style? Is it what's the word? Like utility? Like you need a shirt you can paint in and you don't have to worry about messing it up. Simple, small things. I would like a cup of coffee. What does that mean? I need more energy. You know, I would like a lift. So meditate on the lift, or meditate on the comfort, meditate on the value, meditate on the emotion, rather than expecting it to show up in the form exactly the way you asked for it. Otherwise, you will never see it. And if you're lucky, really, really lucky, if it's a high value and you ask for it in a specific form, you might actually get it that way. If it's a high enough value and you are familiar with how those emotions connect to that form, and you would like it in that form, you might get it. But up until we grow and continue to use these systems, it would be best to just abandon the form and get familiar with how it's working in your life already right now. And start by being grateful, because everything you have in your life is exactly what you asked for at some point in time. So don't be mad. There's no point in being mad. That just takes you out of a state of gratitude, and now you get less. So I hope you enjoyed that. I tried to make that as fast as possible, and it still went on for 18 minutes. So enjoy your day. Watch what you attract. Watch what you think. Watch what you feel, and just be with yourself and just watch what happens. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And thank you.